in sweatpants at Stella's in the morning, in line for a table, but the locals are swarming. Gotta get my coffee or soon I'll be snoring. Lazy Sundays never get boring, telling Syracuse stories.
Welcome to Syracuse Stories. I'm Meghan Sinisi. When we are young, we receive all sorts of advice from our elders about how to live. Work hard, be persistent, dream big. Very few people take that advice to heart as much as Meghan Sinisi, the reigning Syracuse Orange Girl, has. Field reporter Nicolette Lopicaro sat down with Meghan to hear her story. Take a look.
Meghan Sinisi.
So my mom twirled and her sisters twirled and my grandmother twirled. And I'm from Altoona, Pennsylvania, and we have about 4 baton schools just in that area, so it's very popular. And my mother's baton coach actually moved back to Pennsylvania right when I was turning 3 years old, so it was like a good time to start lessons. That's usually when they start. And then I've been doing it ever since. I made a lot of my friends through baton twirling because I started when I was so young, and through high school I usually had friends from all different groups, but my main group of friends were right in my Majorette team, and a lot of my relationships now are through baton twirling too.
What was your childhood like?
Oh man, lots of practices, and my mom fighting me to go outside and twirl, and at least twirl for 45 minutes a day, so it consisted a lot around practicing and managing my time, and doing band practice, and then just baton competitions in general, and practicing outside of that for performances, and then in high school preparing for collegiate auditions too.
How did you become an Orange Girl?
So the audition process was kind of long. I started looking into it the fall of my senior year of high school, and I found this Syracuse marching band's email on their website, and I told them that I was interested in auditioning and asked them what the process would be like. And they emailed me back and asked me to send an audition video. I pursued that and I sent them a video, and the day after they received it, they gave me a call and said, hey, when can we set up an audition? We'd like to see you sometime in April. So I spent my entire senior year preparing for that audition, and then I came here and I performed right in the end zone, the Syracuse end zone, for the reigning Orange Girl at the time, and then the band director, and did a couple different routines, and then I don't know, I fell in love with it here with the second that I walked in the Carrier Dome. I just love the campus. Like the second that I walked on, it seemed like home. I mean, it was the middle of April, and we don't see very many nice days in April here in Syracuse, but the day that I came here, it was just absolutely beautiful. And I remember my mom just tapping me on the shoulder when we were visiting the campus and just told me, you have to be here, like I see you here one day. And I was actually waitlisted at Syracuse, so when I came to audition, I made sure with the band director that that was okay and see if I could still audition for the position, and he said that was okay. And I came and auditioned, and they really liked what they saw when I auditioned for the spot. So then unfortunately I didn't hear back from the school yet, so I knew that I wanted to twirl at the collegiate level no matter where it would be, but especially if it were at Syracuse. So I started pursuing other feature twirler positions, and I went to Coastal Carolina and auditioned there and was offered the position there as well. And I accepted it when I didn't hear back from Syracuse. And then it was, I think, May 31st or June 1st that I got my acceptance letter from Syracuse. So then I decided to go here instead, and I'm really glad that I did. Everything that I've done here has been absolutely incredible.
Up next, we'll hear from Meghan and her mom about how she's overcome challenges in twirling and in life.
What has been your greatest challenge in anything you've done, and how did you overcome it?
Oh man. I guess, especially since I'm such an ambitious person, it's just been keeping myself motivated and just having to remind myself that there's a greater goal at the end of whatever I'm pursuing. So just definitely keeping myself motivated, and a big way that I overcame that was because of twirling. It's not a sport that you can just pick up and master after one practice. It's something that takes years and years of diligent practice. So that really laid the foundation for the rest of my work ethic, and I've carried that on through every aspect of my life.
Is there any person that has helped you out or guided you through all of this?
Absolutely. My mom has always been there, obviously. She's been my rock behind everything and really has told me that I can do anything that I set my mind to.
I saw it in her at an early age, probably about 10 or 12. She still didn't see it in herself. One of her best friends quit taking lessons, and even though she was still like a majorette for the junior high, she decided to stop taking lessons temporarily and competing. And I didn't want to push her too much, but I kept saying, Meghan, you're really good at this. You're going to, kick yourself in the butt. It took her about a year. She still did the junior high major, but then about a year later, then it kicked in. Yeah, I want to get back to competing, and I miss this and miss the lessons. And so then she got back into it. She gets it a lot more than I did back then. I just kind of did it for a sport. She truly has a passion for it.
So in one sentence, I'd like you to complete, Meghan Sinisi is...
ambitious. I think if you talk to anyone, I come up with probably the craziest ideas, and I wanted to go to the Final Four and try to twirl there, and there was a petition that started with that, and although I didn't get to twirl there, I went down and took a 31-hour bus ride to get there and got to cheer on our Orange men, and I did in the morning get to perform at a 5K, so I almost twirled at the Final Four, but just little things like that. I'm definitely an ambitious person, and I think that's to thank baton twirling for. It's really pushed me to try to pursue everything that I've set my mind to.
Ambitious. There's so many words, but that's the first one that comes to mind.
Nicolette is a great reporter, but can she twirl well enough to succeed Meghan as the Orange Girl? Find out next.
So something we teach little girls when they first start, or boys when they first start, what's your favorite ice cream?
Vanilla ice cream?
Vanilla. Okay, so you're going to pretend that there's a big bowl of vanilla ice cream in front of you, and you're going to take your baton, and you're going to point it down and scoop your ice cream, and then put it in your bowl behind you.
Put it in my bowl.
Yep. And you keep doing that.
You're going to put it in my bowl.
There you go.
We're going to scoop it.
Well, now you want to go through your fingers.
Okay.
But yeah, so when you get a little better at it, you'll...
Like she's twisting it.
You making a mess of the ice cream, dude.
That was good. You rolled it over the back of your hand.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah. She did it without thinking, and now...
So, and then...
Perfect.
Yeah? You think I could be an Orange Girl?
Yeah, definitely. Auditions start in February.
Right. I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for those. Oh, look, I just twirled it. Look.
Yeah. Studying communication sciences and disorders, so I aspire to become a speech pathologist, and I'd like to work with children with disabilities and work with them on their language disabilities. I actually came in undecided at Syracuse. In high school I thought I wanted to do nursing, but Syracuse didn't have it, and I knew I wanted to be here to twirl. So luckily, my freshman year spring, I took a CSD 212 intro class, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. And I was so curious in class. I was always on the edge of my seat asking questions, so I knew that that's what I wanted to make my major. And now I actually have a client in the Gebby Clinic, and I'm actually getting to work hands-on with actual speech pathology work, and that's really like confirming that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So what's next for you?
Hopefully grad school. I'll be applying to Syracuse and a couple different schools in New York, and to pursue my speech pathology master's degree. And if not, I want to try to look into some speech pathology assistant jobs for maybe just a year, and then continue on with my graduate school.
Are you involved in anything else on campus?
I'm involved in the peer-to-peer mentoring program for the Disability Cultural Center, and that just basically brings in an inclusive place for people in Inclusive U and people on Syracuse University campus to just come together and work together. My platform in pageantry at the Miss America organization is for autism awareness, so I do a lot of different things on campus with that, and especially with the Disability Cultural Center. My senior year in high school, I was crowned homecoming queen, and after that, my aunt, she worked in the disability office at my high school, and she asked me if I would possibly want to, go into their classroom and visit them for a day. And after that, I realized like how my high school wasn't so inclusive with students with disabilities, and I realized that this is something that I wanted to focus on. And just seeing their reaction to seeing someone in a crown and a sash, even though it was only homecoming queen in high school, I realized that that was like an inspirational moment for me, that I wanted to give them a voice if they didn't have it, or just bring the topic to it. And I had a personal experience with someone with autism, so that's really why I started focusing on that too.
So what is the most important thing you've learned from pageants and or twirling?
That's a tough one. Probably that people are going to say negative things about you, and people are going to try to tear you down when they see that you're being successful. And the greatest thing that you can take out of that is just use it as motivation, and use it to drive you in the direction that you want to go, and just keep at it and know that all of your hard work someday is going to pay off.
And what is your philosophy for life?
Oh, geez. Probably just dream big. There's nothing better that you can do than be your own support system and your own biggest fan, and just to always motivate yourself to go out and do exactly what you want to do. So anytime I see a young girl, I try to tell them to dream big, go after exactly what you want, and never let that spark inside of you die.
That's our story for tonight, but there are many more to tell. If you have a story you'd like to share with us, please email SyracuseStoriesTV@gmail.com. I'm Meghan Sinisi. Thanks for watching.